Hey y'all, I'm Lamb Chop.
Lamb Chop's World. Alright, what's happening everybody? Got another little goodie box from the Repo Man T&J Performance. Look at this mess. Got a badass switch panel. Look at that thing. Look at all them gadgets and buttons and shit that's all over there. Things I'll never come to understand. But I'll learn it. It's pretty cool, huh? That's a lot of buttons. Opens up and look at that. Golly, I'm gonna have fun figuring that. Gonna be cool. So welcomed. Got a MSD box. One of them little blaster coil thingamajiggy bobbers. Look at that. Wow! Thank him so much. These are things my poor ass could probably never afford for a while. And the jewel. Ooh, look at that. MSD Distributor. Look at how cool. You know what we're going to do with this? We're going to take this up to Tall John's Fun Shop. I seen he had a video up the other day showing off his little Sparkulator 4000 distributor checking machine and whatnot. So I think we'll take a ride up to Tall John's Fun Shop, and hopefully the machine won't be offended that it's a Chevrolet product, because he's a Mopar feller. And we'll put it on there and see. I think it shows like when it comes in, advancing and all that stuff, and maybe change a spring if it needs it on it or what have you. But we'll find out. I got a feeling ain't a damn thing wrong with it, but let's go check it out. Lamb Chop's World. Made it. Ha-ha. Here at Tall John Spread. I'll tell you why. Repo Man. Ooh, he sent me some goodies. Look at that. Oh! Oh! Look at that. I'll tell you what. I'm going to take it in here. See if Tall John's, his garage is open. He should be out there. See if he's got that distributor dynamometer, that sparkulator checker. We'll see if we got to do anything to this. Check it out. May look empty. The CUDA's out.
What's going
there
on?
he is.
What are you driving? I didn't hear you pull. What is this?
Would you look at that?
Wow.
From the Repo Man.
Let me go put this race piece away, piece of junk. I don't want to hold this no more. Repo Man.
It looked like that come off some kind of dirt car.
I don't know what it's off of Ford.
Yeah, look at that. How about that?
Repo
Donated.
Man done sent that to you?
For the Tanglefoot and an MSD box.
And
a coil too.
the coil. Which one?
The Blaster 3, I think.
Blaster 3. Nice. Yeah, look at this. Basically a Chrysler pickup down in here. And they put the GM weights and springs and things up here and under the cap, just like a GM. Makes it easy to tune. You got the best of both worlds right here. This is beautiful. Man, I wish I had friends like Repo Man. That's awesome.
You still got the distributor dyno, I see.
Oh, yeah. You see, I'm walking this way. Check this out. Yeah. So, let's do something with this thing, huh?
Hell yeah.
Let's find out whether we're ready for Tanglefoot or not.
This is, this shows us, like, what, all the sparkings?
Yeah, it's basically a distributor. It's a distributor dyno. And it's going to tell us how far the distributor advances and at what RPM it starts and ends advancing. Those are important numbers we want to manipulate and play around with our tuning.
What's inside of there?
What's that?
What's underneath that bell looking thing?
Oh, well, we got us an arrow down here and there's a light. And every time this goes by and says, I want to make a spark, it shines on here like a timing light. And that is going to end up shining on this degree wheel out here. And we're going to adjust this around till we get, see, there's 8s in 8 different places here. And we're going to adjust this until we get them to shine. I'll show you that when we get started, but we're going to basically zero it out. And then we're going to start increasing the RPMs of this knob, and we'll watch our RPMs come up here. And this is distributor RPMs. That's half the engine speed. So we'll increase it, and we'll watch this arrow move. It's going to move to my left here and tell us how much advance the distributor has. And once we get to that point, the maximum advance, we'll come up here and make note of our RPM. And if we don't like it, we're going to get down inside here and change it. Now this MSD, I'll bet you it's close already. I'll bet you could bolt this on and pick up power with the MSD as far as the advance curve. This is a nice piece.
When are we wanting the advance to come in?
Well, we want it to come in somewhere around 15 to 1700 max RPMs. Would start coming on 1300 RPMs and finish out at, say, 15 to 1700. That's where we'd like it to be. Also, we don't want it to advance too far either, because we're going to set on Tanglefoot, we're going to set the timing 20, 22 degrees. We'll have to figure that out when Tanglefoot gets running. But at that point, we can't have it advance 20 degrees, because if we have 20 initial and 20 advance, that's too far. We'll burn the engine up. We'll hurt it.
Yeah, well,
The three things that kill an engine is overheating, no oil, and pinging. We don't want the pinging. So that's one of the things we're going to figure out. So let's just go ahead and get started and see what this thing is.
yeah.
Make some noise. We got to plug us in here first. There we go. Look at that. All set up, ready to go.
I see lights.
Alright, so you see the arrow, so we're going to just zero that out. And if you look, it's on here, here, here. It's shining exactly where there's some tape. And that tells us to run out the distributor. That's important, because if the distributor's advanced or retarded on the other side, that means that when we set number 1 cylinder at 20 degrees, over here number 6 cylinder might be 22 or 18. And that ain't good. We want all 8 cylinders to have the same timing to produce as much power as possible. And when you run a points distributor, that tends to be a problem. So let's see here what we get.
Go now. On the go.
Okay, so what we got here,
And how much did it kick out?
about 6 degrees. Now, I had a pencil here somewhere. You see
I
that?
just heard it. It's by your
Oh, there we
footsies.
go. I always lose that pencil. Okay, so what we have is centrifugal advance at 2,000 engine RPMs. See, the distributor's half the speed. I think I said that before, but it's worth repeating.
Absolutely.
And we got 6 degrees of advance, which would be 12 degrees on the crankshaft. So now that means if we want 32 degrees, we would set our initial timing
20.
at 20 degrees, and then we would have a 32 degree total. Or, you know, and it would depend. Like, we may want 34 degrees, we might want 36 degrees, and we'll determine that when we get to the racetrack. And at that point, we may make some more changes to the distributor to get our initial where we want. We're going to start with 20. I really like 32. So we'll go from there. Now this has a vacuum advance in it too. And we'll go ahead and check the vacuum advance and see where it is. Now the one thing is it's at 2,000 RPMs. I'd like that to be 15 to 1,700 RPMs. So we're going to try to speed that up. But let's see what our vacuum is at here.
Let's test the vacuum too.
We'll hook that up. The machine has a little vacuum pump right here.
Measures them Herbert grams. Yeah. Oh, there she goes. She's off.
that was about 8 degrees, which would give us 16 degrees, which is totaling us out at 48. How about that? That's exactly like what I have in the Barracuda. All right, now the 48 is going to be good. We may be able to go as high as 52, 54. I've seen people run 56, but 48 is a good place to start. And we can get in here and make some changes inside here to get that a little bit further if we need to, but that's not what our concern is. We want the vacuum advanced because when you're driving through the pit area, it'll keep their spark plugs clean.
So this thing's damn near red hot, ready to go.
It is. Now we're going to change this RPM from 2,000, see if we can pick it up. Now I've got a few springs over here that we can
to get it to come in a little sooner.
Yeah, a little bit softer spring. Let's take this apart and I'll show you what's in there. I think anybody's pulled one of these rotors off of their Chevrolet or GM, really any GM product that has a distributor in it. These weights, you can buy heavier weights and you can change these springs, lighter springs, heavier springs, whatever you need to manipulate. Now the heavier spring would make the advance come in later. And there's also a little bushing and a nut down here on the bottom on this distributor, and you can change the thickness of that bushing if you want to limit how much advance it has. Now, since we don't need to worry about that right now, we won't be messing with that. But that's what this little wrench is for here, to get in there and take that nut off and change the bushing out. Now we're going to take, there's 2 springs on here. We're going to take the heavy one off. And I got a little bit lighter one here, I'm sure.
On yonder yay old Distributor checker bench.
Yeah, that. Oh, there it is. Okay. Then we're going to take this spring here and we're going to stick it on there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's a little bit longer spring, and that will allow, this is the only spring that's going to be holding us back now until it gets out and gets to the load this spring up here. Let's get our rotor and put that back on. Now, you don't have to put this rotor back on, but doesn't it feel safer without them weights flying around not wanting to come off and hit you?
Heavens, yes. Makes me want to make sure I do not wear loose clothing.
Wear a hairnet.
Yeah.
Wear your hairnet when you're doing this. Can you imagine if you got your hair in there?
Oh, lost half a beard like that once.
Okay, we don't need the vacuum anymore. Let's see if we sped this up at all.
Oh, it's coming in. Oh, the lights are on. We're well on our way. Now, do we have to turn the vacuum on also?
No, we're not going to do the advance this time. But right now we're at about 1,000 RPMs. It's already starting to move. It will not stop there.
Like 13.
Yeah. A little bit. Heavens to Megatroid, that's far too soon. That's too soon. Let's do it again. But here's the beauty of this thing is, now when we get to the racetrack, we can do fine tuning once we figure out, what Tanglefoot needs for timing. But for now, we've got this out of the way. We'll be able to move on to other things like setting the jetting and making sure the chassis is doing what we want it to do.
Oh yeah. I don't plan on setting her back down till long past the 60-foot line.
You better not.
Hey, oh, yeah.
Let's do this one here. Okay.
Well, what does each side of that mean? Does it matter which one, if you left the other spring on and started changing out the other spring, or?
You could do, it just depends on if this is a lighter one and what you're trying to, You know, I'm changing the heavier one out because we're asking it to go faster.
But if they were identical, when
If they're
you started,
identical,
would
yeah.
it matter which
No, it would
one?
not matter. It would not matter. You just do whichever one you want to do.
One don't flang out for the other one unless you're doing that.
Don't lose the screws. Normally those don't go flying around, but this ain't a regular distributor.
It's a Repo Man special.
That's right.
He even gave us that big old tack too.
No, the Repo Man, he practically owns that car now. All right, let's see what we got now.
He's gonna find his name on the whole damn trunk.
That would be right at 1,500. I like that.
Yeah.
I like sooner than later. It just depends on how the how much converter you have and things like that would affect also. If you get it to come in too soon with your automatic transmission, when you drop it into gear, it'll lower the RPM and then the timing starts to retard. So you set your idle. Well, then as soon as you put it back into park, the timing starts to advance and it starts revving up. And we don't want that either.
Well, that's
So
not
you got to make sure
Christian.
you don't get it too soon. Now, what I really like to do is I really like to start them up and have them start and go straight to full advance.
At
So if it
idle
was idling
already?
at 800 RPMs, I'd like it to be at 32 degrees. But that's, you know, we don't need that. Because in your case, you're going to be getting up on the line and putting it up against the converter with a trans brake on there. And that's going to put that timing right up where it needs to be max.
Indeed.
This is a good distributor.
That's badass.
For now, we put one spring in that sucker, and we got her dialed in to where we want to start with. We get out to the racetrack, and we'll make some passes, and we'll read some spark plugs, and we'll check some things out, and we may get back up inside here and do a couple more things. But for now, Repo Man,
Red hot, ready to go.
you the man.
Hey, oh, yeah.
There you go, my friend.
My lightning rod.
We're talking some. Make sure that sucker burns. Ain't gonna be no misfire on Tanglefoot.
Hell yeah. That rocks. That's a hell of a machine.
It's a fun piece to use.